Marvel is ready to go head to head against Superman at the box office because they just held new Fantastic Four test screenings last night and they're making some really bold choices because of it. Plus, we got an MCU actress teasing her return to Avengers Doomsday and a possible team up with Wolverine, an MCU movie being so bad it caused the actors to retire, and so much more Marvel news. Let's get into it. Let's start off with this new fan screening that Marvel held for the Fantastic Four First Steps because there's a lot to get into with this. As you can see, the first 30 minutes of the movie were screened at a fan event in Brazil, and the social media embargo for these early screenings are going to lift on July 8th. So yes, the reviews that we're going to be getting for this movie on Tuesday are only going to be based on the first 30 minutes of the film, but this is kind of massive for multiple reasons. The first couple reasons have to do with Superman, because on July 8th, when these social reactions for the Fantastic Four go live, is when the full reviews for Superman are allowed to go live from all the people that have seen the movie early. So it seems like Marvel is taking a pretty big risk on the fact that maybe Superman's going to get some very mixed or negative reviews, and they're hoping that all the reviews that come out for the Fantastic Four First Steps on the same day are very positive, kind of swaying people to be like, oh, maybe I'll save my money from Superman and go spend that money on tickets for the Fantastic Four First Steps. Now, this could absolutely backfire on Marvel. First of all, Superman could just get very positive reactions and kind of drown out these first reactions to the Fantastic Four First Steps. Or even if Superman gets negative reactions, that's still going to steal all the spotlight, honestly. I don't think many people are going to be focusing on the Fantastic Four First Steps. That doesn't come out for another couple weeks. But it does show that Marvel is very confident in this film, because even Superman like 3 weeks ago had the same thing where they showed fans the first 30 minutes of the film. Those people still have not been allowed to give their thoughts on the movie, and people that have already seen the full film, they can't even give their thoughts again until like 4 days before the film releases. The Fantastic Four allowing these early social reviews like 3 weeks in advance is kind of a crazy vote of confidence. And Marvel continues to just cook with the marketing for the Fantastic Four First Steps, because now the first family is actually on the cover of the Real Life People magazine. I know they've had a lot of marketing that's like fake in-world magazines, but this is actually the real life cover. All I can think of looking at this cover is like some old lady going through a grocery store and she just sees People magazine and probably assumes that the thing is just a real guy that got turned into a rock or something. We do have some more important news to get to, but first I want to highlight this new still that we got released from the Fantastic Four First Steps, because it gives us a great new look at Galactus. So if you don't want to see it in more detail than this, just kind of go ahead like 15 seconds. As you can see on this reflection on the top of the car that Sue Storm is in, we get our best look at Galactus's actual face in the movie. And I really love how it seems like this dude's presence in the movie is just going to be like Godzilla on every steroid in the world pretty much. Even though Ironheart and Captain America Brave New World got very mixed reviews and Brave New World flopped at the box office, they are currently the number 1 and 2 most viewed things on Disney Plus right now. I'm going to specifically talk about Brave New World because this movie absolutely bombed, yet is doing great numbers on Disney Plus. Now, first of all, yes, the movie is just very mediocre. There was really no reason to go out to the theaters and spend a lot of money in this when you knew it was going to come out to streaming in a couple months anyways. I think this is something important to keep in mind, that like this is now Disney's new model for Star Wars and Marvel properties. Like they really don't care if a movie flops or not at the box office. Obviously, they would prefer to have huge box office hits that make them hundreds of millions of dollars. But the reality is Disney does not operate like a lot of other movie studios. Obviously, they have Disney Plus, and they make money from all these subscriptions. So even if people just wait to watch them on Disney Plus, they still make that money. This is kind of just hilarious. I had to bring it up. Now, Michael Douglas, who plays Hank Pym in the Ant-Man movies, and Evangeline Lilly, who plays Hope in the Ant-Man movies, have both retired from acting. Now, Evangeline Lilly's has happened like a while ago. And as the tweet goes on to say, their last MCU film was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but actually it just point blank period. Both of their last films before retiring were Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Obviously, Michael Douglas is like 80 years old, and Evangeline Lilly, maybe she did just really need a break, but the idea that this movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, was just so bad that they're like, you know what, it's not even worth being an actor anymore, is kind of hilarious. But the reality is Evangeline Lilly will probably come back to acting at some point, especially for that Avengers Doomsday bag if they offer it to her. Literally just a couple weeks ago, she posted this from a fan expo. Obviously, this is just some random fan in a Wolverine costume, but a lot of people are saying like, oh, this is her teasing that she's gonna have a scene with Wolverine in Doomsday. Do I believe it's really that? I don't know. But like I said, if Marvel walks up to you and says, we're gonna give you like 800 grand or multi-million dollars to be in this movie, you're gonna be taken out. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. Now, if you want to hear about the first leaked reviews for Superman, brand new information about Spider-Man, Brand New Day, and more, click the video above my head right now, and thank you so much for watching.